The paw on his chest started on a Monday. George was 78 years old and had lived with his golden retriever Chester for 11 of those years. Chester was 12, old for a large dog, slowing in the way that large dogs slow, gray at the muzzle, stiff in cold mornings. And George had been thinking recently about what it would mean when Chester's time came. He thought about this the way old men think about old dogs, with the specific grief of someone who knows the math. What he hadn't thought about was what Chester might be doing for him. Chester began pressing his right front paw against George's chest when they slept, not gently, with intention. A deliberate flat contact held through the night, as if he were counting something. George's daughter Helen, who came over 3 mornings a week, noticed Chester's position and assumed it was the dog's age, his changing need for warmth, his increasing attachment. She was partly right. She had the direction of the attachment wrong. George had been having intermittent episodes of what he described as flutter, a word he used the way people of his generation use soft words for alarming things. Brief, irregular moments in his chest. He hadn't mentioned them to anyone. Chester had started the nightly paw position approximately 4 days before George would later calculate his first flutter episode. Subscribe so you don't miss the cardiologist's words. Some things in medicine deserve a better word than coincidence. Helen finally mentioned Chester's behavior to George's primary care physician during a routine visit. The physician ordered a 48-hour cardiac Holter monitor. The monitor captured 7 episodes of atrial fibrillation over the monitoring period. Brief, self-terminating, but real, and real enough to require management. George's cardiologist, Dr. Ose, reviewed the rhythm strips and then asked Helen, in his unhurried way, to describe Chester's behavior in detail. He listened without interrupting. He said, "Dogs detect pulse irregularities through vibration and pressure. An irregular cardiac rhythm produces mechanical vibration in the chest wall that is below human tactile perception, particularly in close sustained contact. Your father's dog may have been responding to a cardiac irregularity for days before the monitor confirmed it." He paused. "I've seen this documented twice in the literature. I've heard of it 3 other times from patients. I believe it. George's atrial fibrillation is managed now. His medication schedule is working. He checks in with Dr. Ose every 3 months. Chester still sleeps with his paw on George's chest. Has a dog ever been unusually attentive to someone during a health event? Tell us in the comments. Every account matters. He will tell you this himself in the direct way of men who grew up in households where sentiment was a private matter. He does not use the word miracle. He does not make Chester's behavior into something larger than what it was. But he did. After the diagnosis and the medication adjustment, and the follow-up that confirmed things were stable, do something that his daughter had never seen him do before. He sat on the floor next to Chester, which was not easy for a 78-year-old man with arthritic knees, and he put his hand on Chester's gray muzzle and he said, "Good boy." Just that. Chester exhaled and closed his eyes. Subscribe. 4 legs, 1 heart. That's what this channel is about.